Okay, I think every video I'm making, it takes 2 shots, but I'm gonna try this again. We're going over um, ranking for these 7 cards to see like what's good, how good it is. Um, hey Michelle, I don't have my chat up if you say hi, but yeah. So I'm gonna go over ranking what I think about all these cards, how good they are. It's hard. It's really hard to get them. Like not a lot of people are gonna be playing with these. Um, but that being said, I still think a lot of them are powerful. The two things that we don't know that will really change the power level and ranking of these cards is this little symbol here. I'm calling it guild right now. It's like gray, green, purple, red. There's all the different guilds. Can you mix guilds? If you can, it's going to make a lot of cards way more powerful. If you can't mix them, it's not as cool because there's like a lot of combos that are possible mixing guilds, but if you can't, then it won't work. Maybe the card's not as good. The other thing is the little diamonds. I'm calling them lore right now. How powerful these are, because this Mickey, this 8-drop, has 4 of them. I personally think it's really important. It definitely is some kind of part of the game mechanic. It's not based off of cost, because we have a 1, 2, 3, and a 6 cost, or 1, 2, and 3 cost, all with only 1 lore. We have a 8-drop with 4 lore, but a 9-drop with 2. So the lore is not based off of cost directly, like all 3 and lower have 1 or something like that. So those two things really change the power level. That being said, the first ranking, for me, I think these diamonds, this lore, is going to be really important for the game. I think that this Mickey's like going to be a crazy good card. Based off of that, if this is worthless, if they don't even in the first set use these for some reason, it takes him from like epic busted card to bad, because his stats 8 for 5/5 with evasive isn't good. In my previous video I talked about how kind of like a ranking system, that'd be 10 plus 2, that's 12 points, when he should have at least 16 plus 1. He needs at least 17 points. Without this lore or diamonds, yeah, he's a 12 out of 17. If these are worth like 1 or 2, he could be a 20 out of 17. So that's my guess. So that being said, this card is my #1 pick. I already picked up some of them, so I think that's good. I'll go through all of them and just kind of say what I think. Iffy with the fire emotes. Sorry, I don't have chat easily in a good spot. I wonder how I can. Let me try real quick. Can I pop this out? I'll just move it way over. Oh no, that would work. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna adjust this a little. I want to see chat. All good. Okay. Anyway. Okay, yeah, so this Captain Hook, he's a 1 cost. And his stats are where they should be. Like I said, I think all the cards in this are like a +1. And so he has the +1 here. Challenger +2 power. When challenging, so if he's like attacking, he's going to get a +2 to this number. So I'd put him at a 3. And that's really big, because for a 1-drop to have 3 attack or power when he's attacking, that seems really good to me. Like if you think about Magic, if you could have a 3/2 for 1, that's like crazy. If you can have 4 copies of a card, 3 or 4, and if you're, I don't know if this like guild, this color is going to be like kind of like a rush style or something like that, but that's really, really good. I would say if you can get these, pick them up. I think that it's probably going to be the highest attacking 1-drop. Having anything attacking for 4 for 1, that's crazy. 3 attack, if you match it to knock him out, that knocks out this Cruella Deville, it knocks out this Elsa. This 6 drop, you're only 1 shy of knocking him out. And I don't know, if you had 2 of them, that puts you at 6. So that knocks out him. That knocks out every card. If that's how it works. If you can combine 2 Captain Hooks, 2 1-drops, and they both attack, that's 6 attack. That's got to be good. This is huge. I would say this is top tier, A tier. It's not like off the charts, but it's really good. So I'd give this an A. Cruella Deville, her stats are not exactly where we want them. They're okay. They're not +1. We're still short 1. But she has this ability: when this character is challenged and banished, you may return a chosen character to their player's hand. So you get this back every time it's banished. That's really good. Like, drawing a card, getting a card back's awesome. There's some kind of way to like this is a blocker. Essentially, someone makes an attack at you or at your objective. We don't know exactly how it plays, but 3 block is good. That blocks this hook, blocks this Stitch. It blocks Elsa. It's 1 shy of blocking this Robin Hood, but that's a pretty good block. And then she dies, but goes back into your hand. And then you can drop it and use it again. So I'd say this is like a really good card. Is it A tier? I don't think so. I think it's probably closer to B. That being said, if you can combo it with things like this Stitch, whenever you play a card with 2 cost or less, you may exert to draw a card. So you could block with her, she goes back into your hand, then you drop her, exert her, and get an extra card. That's pretty big. That's two free cards for nothing. So that's like a good combo. I'd say this is B tier. That's just my initial thought. But if you can mix guilds, maybe it's better. This Elsa, she's a 3 cost. Her stats are about where we want them. She's actually like -2. But this exert chosen opposing character. So you basically turn her sideways to turn another character sideways. Then they can't attack, or it shuts off certain abilities. So that seems good. Paying 3, so I'm going to sacrifice 3 resources to just keep something turned off, I don't think is I don't think it's that good. For the fact that, like, when I play, at least for me, I want to always be doing something, and just stopping someone from doing something isn't good enough usually. You need to be going a little bit further than that. So you're basically paying a card and a exert to stop their exert. If it's like a really expensive card, it could be good. I wouldn't run a lot of it. There might not be a lot of this ability floating around. If there's only 1 or 2 characters that can do this, this is closer to like a B, in my opinion. But honestly, I think it's like C tier. I don't think this is going to see a ton of play. I don't. And for the cost, like if this was like 1, and does the same thing with like crap stats, like a 1/1 maybe, even then that would be probably better. The fact that it costs 3, I don't know. I might be way off on this one, but I think this is like lower. I think it's C, B tier. Just like turning something off, and as soon as she's gone, then that thing, like let's say you're shutting down this 7 swing every time. As soon as she's gone, this is still on the board to swing. So you kind of paid a lot of resources and time to just slow the game down. Which, you know, depending on what you're doing, that might be all you need. Just slow everything, ice the whole board. But I don't know. I'm not too stoked on that one. Robin Hood, my like favorite Disney animation. This is Robin Hood's definitely like probably top two. It might be just number one. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in forever, but stats wise, he's a 4/4. That puts him at 8. We're be hoping for 12. So he really relies on his abilities to kind of make up for that loss. When you play this character, if an opponent has more cards in their hand, you draw a card. So we get a draw card, which is huge. We know drawing's good every game, no matter what. Especially in this, where you could only be drawing one a turn. Dropping him and getting a free card is awesome. You do need to have less cards, which is a little annoying because if you're like in a draw-heavy deck, like the odds that you're going to get a draw off of him could be less. So that's kind of a negative that there's that, like, it should just be draw a card for dropping him, I think. But that being said, it's not quite as good, but drawing is really good. Evasive. This could be huge. I've talked about it before. Legends of Runeterra has this kind of like evasive mechanic that's really busted. You could have a 2/2 just attacking, every turn against you, and if you don't have something to get rid of it, you're screwed. You're just going to take a ton of damage or lose a bunch of points. We don't know how it's played, but that's pretty easily could happen. So during your turn, this character has evasive, so you can snipe down all those little weenie evasive characters attacking you. Stats are a little weak. The draw is a little weak. Evasive is huge. I would say this is probably B tier. It's not crazy. If you got to draw a card every time, that'd push it closer to A. If this was 5 attack, I'd say it's practically, from what we've seen, S tier, because you can take out anything. But that 4 attack, it could be kind of a break point. I'm not sure. If we look at this, like Mickey and this Maleficent down here, they have 5 defense, so Robin Hood on his own couldn't snipe them down. But that's probably why it's intended. That's why it's a 6 drop and not an 8 or a 9. So I don't know. I love the art. Love Robin Hood. I want to give it S tier, but it's not. It's probably closer to B, I'm guessing. And these lore, that's a big factor. 2 lore could be just bonkers. We don't know. On this Maleficent 9 drop, 2 lore, 2 of these diamonds. So it's hard to say. It has a lot of potential to go either way. It's between a B tier and an S tier, pretty easy. But yeah, this Stitch, Rockstar Stitch, I would say, I'll do like my just personal ranking afterward. I think this could be a huge card because this Adoring Fans ability. Stats wise, 6. We have 8 here, the same as the Robin Hood. We're like 5 short of stats. Can this make up for 5? I think it can, because you can possibly pay him for 2 less. A 4 cost for a 3/5 is awesome on its own. And whenever you play a character with 2 or less, you may exert it to draw a card. Like if you can mix guilds and you have a bunch of Captain Hooks in your hand, drop all of them, draw a bunch of cards. That's awesome. The next turn, attack with all of them. Could be crazy. This is probably the best draw. I mean, we haven't seen a lot, but this is one of the best draw mechanics in this game. Even though there could be 300 other cards we haven't seen, I am definitely saying that this is huge. Whenever you play a character with 2 or less, you may exert it to draw a card. If you're on a turn where you have, let's say you have 9 resources and Stitch is on the table, maybe on turn, I don't know how it works. Let's say hypothetically, on turn 4 you drop like a weak Stitch. On turn 5 you play him. Turn 6 you have 6 resources. You could drop a 1 cost, draw a card. If it's a 1 cost, drop it, draw a card, drop it, draw a card. You could draw 5 or 6 cards depending on your resources in 1 turn. And like other draw cards, we've only seen 1 for draw 1, and it has huge, the Robin Hood, huge stipulations of having less cards than the opponent. And this Cruella Deville, getting her back in your hand, We haven't seen a lot of draw. I don't know. I think this Stitch is awesome. This Rockstar Stitch is going to be a Rockstar, I would say. And on top of all of that, great ability. He can be reduced cost. You can get him out like 2 turns earlier than you should. Um, if you go by like Hearthstone, let's say every turn you get 1 point of mana or whatever to work with. You could have him out a 6-drop on turn 5 with decent stats, amazing ability. On turn 6, you could draw 6 cards basically. You could have just like a rush of Stitches. So I don't know. It seems pretty good. And 3 lore. This is definitely huge, in my opinion. Or it's nothing. Some people might say that these little diamonds are worth nothing, but 6-drop, he has 3 of these. It's awesome. I like this card. Top tier. It's an S tier. I say this is an S tier card. Even if you can't mix guilds, even if these are worth nothing, I think this is a cool card. This Mickey is probably, he's the closest to like a D tier and S tier of anything. And I'm definitely leaning towards S. I think the lore diamonds are going to be huge, and evasive is going to be, it's going to be huge. It's kind of a card that I feel like everyone runs one of. For the lore bonus, for the evasive bonus to take care of annoying things. If those things don't matter, he is a 5/5 for 8. So we'd need 17 points, and just off of this, 5 and 5, that's 10. So he's 7 points behind where he should be for how many resources you're spending. That being said, I think evasive is at least worth 2, and this is probably worth more. So he's either the worst or the best. I picked up 2 of them. Show this every time in the video just because I'm so excited. But I think he's going to be good. Next is Maleficent. Stats-wise, it's a 9-drop for a 7/5. So we'd want 18, 9 and 9, plus 1, 19. This only has 12, so you're 7 off. This is super expensive for not amazing stats. But is this ability, Dragonfire, when you play this character, you may banish chosen opposing character. Is that like the greatest thing ever? I think it's huge. It's like game changing. Because you're taking a lot of stats off the board. You could be taking 5/5 off the board. You could be taking another one of these off the board. It could be a huge swing. It's super expensive. Like her ability, it needs to be worth a lot. 7 points, right? Is it? I don't know. How much is like 7 on average? It's like a 3 cost. So if you're using it to get rid of a 3 cost, it's probably not worth it. If you're getting rid of a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cost, maybe there's 10, maybe there's 20, I don't know. Then it's better. But just like for getting rid of something small, it's not that good. Except maybe like this Elsa is just locking up your whole board all day. But I don't know. And then super high cost, crappy stats technically. 2 lore, so low on this. If this had like 4 diamonds, 4 lore, I would say it makes it a lot better. Like to me, this Mickey, it just feels like a super rare card, an Uber, or whatever, a Majestic. To me, this doesn't feel like it. It feels like a rare. This just, the stats are okay. It's expensive. It has a really good ability. You just get to use it once. Then you're swinging pretty big. Like hitting the board's nice, but I don't know. 7 attack though. That's that break point of 5, where it's kind of like the next tier. If you're swinging for 5 or more, that could be good. However, no, yeah. That 7 attack's huge. That's probably going to take out almost anything in the game, I'm guessing. There's not going to be like 8 defense cards that don't cost a fortune and just have no ability. Just garbage, like it's a wall. And if you're dropping like a wall like that, this card just nukes it instantly. Um, unless this comes out first and then you drop the wall or whatever. But that's kind of what I think. So I feel like this is a rare. It's probably B tier. If I just like was going on eBay and buying single shots, um, and not speculating on Mickey, which I am really hard because I really like that card. I would say Captain Hooks. I would just buy a set of Captain Hooks, however many that is, 3 or 4. I would have Stitch. It is, you may not run it, but someone that you play with is going to run this. So I would definitely pick up Stitches. It's really cool and mechanically. So my top 3 are Captain Hook, Stitch, and Mickey Mouse. My bottom ones are Elsa. Unfortunately, Robin Hood. I want to like him, but he's in the bottom for sure. And then kind of in the middle, I think Cruella Deville has a lot of combo potential. It can really block a lot, and it comes back into your hand. It has combo potential. Like already just if you could mix guilds, there's like close to infinite combo potential. The problem is to get her back in your hand, she has to be challenged and banished. So you can't do some kind of mechanic where you're banishing your own card to cycle it and then draw again and then banish your own card, cycle it, draw again. It has to be attacked. That's why it's in the middle. She's in the middle. But yeah, Captain Hook, Stitch, and Mickey Mouse I like. I think Elsa and Robin Hood are at the bottom, and Cruella and Maleficent are right in the middle. High middle, probably. Just the stats on this are cool. I'm sure there'll be other banger creatures. Since this Mickey, who doesn't seem very like scary or have a lot of class options, he still costs 8. So there will be some big cards out there. So that's that. I'm gonna keep trying to send some things out. So if you liked it, let me know. Let me know what else you want to have. I'm going to make a video on how I think the game is played. I've been digitizing it so I can like play it digitally, and like creating cards. Like I have a Stitch that's a 2 cost that has no abilities because he can evolve. And then I have this kind of theory on quests and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it's just going to be a head-to-head clashing game. I think there's going to be a lot more to it. So we'll see. Alright, we'll bug you guys later.